82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time and this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. Oh, a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around, you say,
Hardware and garden stores.
Let me go to Rook first. I have a question, Rook, since you brought up Gaffigan. Have you watched Unfrosted on Netflix? The
No,
Seinfeld
but
movie?
I will.
It's very clever and funny. I watched it.
It's Gaffigan just doing his stand-up?
No, it's a
That
movie.
Seinfeld movie, isn't it?
Yeah, a Seinfeld movie about the creation of Pop-Tarts, but it's not real. I mean, it's,
It's
made
up front?
No, Unfrosted.
Rattaloni's Hardware and garden
No,
stores.
but I will watch it Unfrosted because I'm always looking for something to eat.
Such. Look at the time.
Let's
I'm
go.
trying.
I got a
Kyle,
sound.
are you ready?
I got a sound story at 2.
Well, then shut up.
Let's go. Why don't you start then while I'm talking?
Why do you tell me?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1479, Feb 7, 2025. 53 degrees on this day in 1987.
I don't remember that.
And it was 29 below on this day, on the morning of this day.
What?
In 1875.
Okay.
On this date in history.
It's weird.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Height in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your Flashlight King, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common
Jeez,
sense.
look at this.
Yeah,
Your
very
mayor,
pensive.
Joe Souchere.
And yes, my man Timbuktu has come through. Later in the show, I have your Super Bowl nuggets.
Oh, good.
Fun.
Are we doing commercials this year? I thought maybe we'd.
No, we're not.
Damn it.
I want to read an email. I want to read an email that's so germane to what we talked about yesterday, and that's the inability of the Minneapolis City Council to A, understand what the residents of 38th and Chicago want, and B, are failing to come up with anything after 5 years, which all would have been solved merely by listening to the people who lived there.
Okay.
Right?
Easy.
But I got a note here that says, "Hail the Flashlight King."
Hail you!
Dear Joe, listening to Kenny's description of the neighborhood around the intersection of 38th and Chicago, a.k.a. George Floyd Square, yesterday, brought back memories. When I was a 23-year-old law student in 1992, my young bride and I bought our first house a few houses south of 38th and Park. It was a cute 1910 Craftsman bungalow, a HUD foreclosure, and we paid $28,000 for it.
Whoa.
Even with 8% interest, our mortgage, taxes, and insurance were less than $500. My brother lived on the southwest corner of 38th and Park, 3 houses away. 38th in Chicago is 2 blocks to the east, and I'm very familiar with the area, even though I haven't lived there for 30 years. Prior to 2020, it hadn't really changed much. Cup Foods was there, a retail outlet of last resort where a clerk would hit on my wife. The SA was there. My wife's bus stop was where Mr. Floyd met his demise. Anyhow, Kenny's description of the neighborhood was accurate even after 30 years ago. Not at all horrible, but not great. Even back then, the worst areas were the north side and the area between Franklin and Lake. Then it got better, safer, more expensive as you went further south. It always seemed to me like there were a sort of unofficial strata divided every 6 blocks, Lake, 36, 42nd, etc. It was a racially diverse neighborhood and everyone got along well, but we all kind of kept to ourselves. We shoveled our walks and mowed our lawns. Sharon Sales Belton lived just a block or 2 away, and I had a nice chat with her while she was campaigning before I voted for her opponent, John Darris. We never felt unsafe while we were there, although we did have a car window shot out and my brother's place was burglarized once. I'm not 100% sure what my point is, and I definitely buried the lead. But then he gets to his point, and it's a fantastic point that none of us should ever forget.
Okay.
I guess my point is this. 40-plus years of one-party rule have not made that neighborhood a better place. It was described as transitional at the time, and everyone knew it wasn't transitioning in a positive direction. I couldn't state it better myself.
Okay.
I'd agree. Yeah.
What has 40 years of liberal rule, how has it made your life better in Minneapolis? Especially if you don't have money.
Right.
People with enough money are able to avoid how injurious
I just go away
the
or-
Mysterians are. They can avoid it. But many, many people can't. And how I'm addressing this to the people, marginalized people of color, newly arrived. How has the rule of the left made your life better? We had 2 shootings in Minneapolis last night. How has the rule of the left made your life better? And he adds, by the way, I'm thinking of bringing my 1963 Jaguar E-Type. Ooh, what a car. 2nd year of production. Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car ever made. I'm thinking of bringing my 1963 Jaguar E-Type up for a car show you'll be attending in July. Perhaps I'll see you there. Pushing Back in Illinois, Scott Johnson.
How did he find out about that?
Find out about what?
That car show in July.
That's a good question because I'm not even sure which car show he's talking about.
I'll tell you off the air. But we've all agreed to be there.
Oh, it's advertised. It's on Facebook. Remember? We told. Yeah, it's. It
is?
Yeah, the guy made a big thing about world-renowned talk show host Joe Souchere coming.
We're going to be at Cedar Lake Speedway on July 12th. There's going to be a British car show. and we're going to be there for the races. If you want to be indoors and out of the dust and noise, you can do that. If you want to be one of the true Americans, getting dust in your eyes and dirty and having fun and getting drunk, you can do that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Who do I talk to see if I can take one of my cars on the track?
I'm sure
I'll put you in contact with that. I'm not sure that you want to, though. But yeah, we could probably make that happen.
But they'll drive you around too. Yeah, we got a whole thing, and it's gonna be fun.
I've been around on that track, and we had to go out there years ago for some reason, and I went around the track driving a vehicle supplied to me, and I thought I was going 400 miles an hour, and I was going about 28.
Same at Elko.
Maybe that's where it was.
John
Maybe that's
Hines
where it
kicked
was.
butt. He won the race. I was trying to turn my left blinker on. It wouldn't work.
That's asphalt. Cedar Lake is dirt, and they have a late model 2-seater that they take people out and give them rides.
Yeah.
And they turn laps in anger, and it is incredible.
Sounds like an
fun.
unnecessary risk at my
back
age.
to Scott Johnson. If it's Cedar Lake you're talking about, yeah, well, I wasn't at Cedar Lake. It was
You were
Lake,
Elko.
It was Elko. Scott Johnson, I'll look forward to that. That's where we'll see each other, is at the Cedar Lake race.
I hope I live that long. That's my whole goal in life, is to live until July 12th.
Maybe I'll bring up the Jetta. We'll do a little couple laps, huh?
Yeah, Kenny, that's a modest goal.
It really is.
That's
is.
really a modest goal. But
So I
everybody
just-
needs goals.
Just
Yeah.
back to South Minneapolis for a second. How would life in South Minneapolis be different if, for the past 8 years, we had a Republican mayor and a balanced city council?
No, let's go back. How would it be different if for the last 40 years you had a Republican
All
mayor?
right, let's
Yeah.
speculate. How would it be different?
I was going to say it's hard to say. It's not hard to say. I think there would be. I don't think the ideologies of discipline and morality and ethic would have been foregone. I think they would have come along with the package of more conservative leadership without it being spoken. I just think the moral and ethical decline, or in the case of 38th in Chicago, let's also call it a physical or aesthetic decline, would not have happened. I predict that would not. We'll never know, but I predict that would not have happened. There would have been more. You know what? The other bad thing about the mystery is Mysterians are real. They have set the bar very low on expectations
Why is that?
because they're Mysterians, and they think work is unfair. They think work is an affectation of a white patriarchal society. They think work is the flaws of the founding fathers.